Welcome to the Amy Ahlers Show, where ambitious, soulful women come to stop being so hard on themselves, release self-bullying, and embrace their truth. It's all about waking you up to your inner wisdom, that voice of truth inside of you. This is episode number 2 of the Amy Ahlers Show and episode number 202 of the Mama Truth Show facelift into the Amy Ahlers Show. I'm your host, you guessed it, Amy Ahlers, known as the Wake Up Call Coach. And today on the show, we're going to talk about Oprah. We're going to talk about your truth. And we're going to talk about women rising. So with that, let's get on to the show. Now, I know for most of you, hopefully, I hope honestly, every single listener here of the Amy Ahlers Show has listened at least twice, if not multiple times, to Oprah's unbelievable, profound, incredible Golden Globes speech, where she accepted the Cecil B. DeMille Award and was the first Black woman to ever receive that award and acknowledgement. I sat there on the couch with my 10-year-old daughter, sitting with her, her head in my lap, and cried my eyes out when I watched that speech. Really taken by Oprah's words, her heart, her inspiration, and what she was able to do and accomplish in that speech. Here's a quote from the speech that I think is so relevant to what we're all about here on the Amy Ahlers Show. Quote, "What I know for sure is that speaking your truth is the most powerful tool we all have." Let me say it again. What I know for sure is that speaking your truth is the most powerful tool we all have. And so today we're going to talk about speaking your truth. Now, I know for some of you listening to the show, there may be a truth that you haven't spoken, an unspoken truth that you really need to share. And so I want to encourage you and inspire you to share that with someone you know you can trust today, this week, this year. May 2018 be the year that you really share and speak your truth. And so I know that there's truths that are there in kind of that category, the unspoken truths that we have yet to speak, the unspeakable stories we have yet to share. And so I really want to encourage you, again, with someone that you trust. And this might, by the way, be your therapist. It might be your life coach. It might be your best friend. It might be your mother, your sister, your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife, whoever it is for you. But there is great power in being brave and courageous enough to speak that and to have that vulnerability. It is healing. I always like to say, take those stories that are filled with shame, right? Because secrecy and shame go hand in hand. They are best friends. And so if there's a story that you are holding in secrecy, it is definitely entrenched in shame. And the best, and really honestly in some ways only way to heal that shame is by sharing it, is to bringing it out of the secrecy. And no, this doesn't mean that you have to share it far and wide on Facebook. And I know that there's many of you that have done that. #MeToo, right? And I applaud you if you have felt ready for that. And for others of you, this is about sharing it with one trusted person. Whatever it is, I encourage you to bring those unspoken stories, those stories that are pieces of who you are and who you've become, out of the shadows and into the light. Then there's other truths. And I will say in this other category of truth, it's almost like the truths that we pretend not to know or that we haven't even let ourselves know. And this is about being able to speak your truth to yourself, to reveal your truth and to allow your voice of truth within you that I call the inner wisdom voice to speak to you. And creating and cultivating a powerful relationship with your inner wisdom is the key to all of this. It's the key to being able to share it, right? How can you speak your truth if you don't even know what the heck your truth is? right? So it's about really going within to your inner wisdom. And I would ask you to journal this question, meditate on this question, take it to your daily practice, take it to a walk out in the woods today or in the snow, crunch, 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 wherever you live, right? To take that and say, what is the truth that I'm not letting myself know? What is my truth that I need to speak? What is the untold pieces of truth that I'm pretending not to know? And to let your inner wisdom rise up and share that with you. And this is what so many of the women are doing in the Inner Wisdom Experiment, which is a free 5-day challenge that I created because I felt so inspired after watching Oprah, yes, and really in my work over the last almost 2 decades of being a life coach. I have felt so inspired when I hear people sharing their truth, when I hear them really know and understand their authentic voice. And then they allow that authentic voice to speak for the first time or the 100th time. It doesn't matter. And it's been such a huge part of my work on myself and with all of my clients, whether a VIP client or someone that's in the Inner Wisdom Experiment, that free challenge I'm doing, or someone that's in one of my online programs like Reform Your Inner Mean Girl Reform School, my books, like etc. No matter what I've done, it really is about helping women connect to their inner wisdom, wake up their inner wisdom, and then cultivate the courage to act on that voice of guidance. It's a lot of courage and bravery, and we need it right now, ladies. So if you want to get even more in touch with your inner wisdom voice, I invite you to join me for my free Inner Wisdom Experiment. You can go to innerwisdomexperiment.com. We start on January 28th, 2018, if you're listening to this episode later, and you can still visit innerwisdomexperiment.com no matter what time it is, because I'm sure I'll keep some of it live just because I'm so inspired to gift this to people. We're going to be activating the channels of communication for your inner wisdom. We're going to be experimenting with different ways of connecting to our inner wisdom, and we're doing that in a container of community and support. And it's been so inspiring to see the hundreds of women right at this moment that are joining me from around the world. And I'm sure to be thousands of women that are joining me from around the world. So please join me for that. I would be honored to have you do that. So really in this bucket of really uncovering your voice of truth and getting into that, it is about connecting with your inner wisdom. So I want to give you an exercise right here and now on the call to help you connect with your inner wisdom voice, to connect to your voice of truth. So if it's safe to do so, I want to invite you to close your eyes. And if you're exercising, I love to listen to podcasts personally while I'm exercising. No worries. You can kind of do this with a half mast as you're on your run or your walk or on the Stairmaster or whatever it is, the elliptical. You can do that. Or if you're driving, you can just kind of, put yourself into a relaxed state as you do this. And those of you that can, I want to invite you to close your eyes. I'm going to take a sip of my tea here. All right, so closing your eyes and really imagining as you do so that you are connecting deeper and deeper into the earth. So I'm going to ask you to take 3 deep breaths with me. And on the in-breath, I want you to breathe into your hips. And on the out-breath, the exhale, I want you to exhale your energy down to the center of the earth. So breathing into your hips and exhaling to the center of the earth. Breathing into your hips and exhaling to the center of the earth. And breathing into your hips and exhaling to the center of the earth. Beautiful. And with your eyes opened or a soft gaze, just allowing yourself to connect in with your inner wisdom, that voice of truth within you, and allowing that inner wisdom voice to rise. And asking your inner wisdom, What is the truth that I need to express in this moment? What is the truth that I need to express in this moment? And allowing your inner wisdom to answer. Good. Allowing her to answer. Beautiful. And now asking your inner wisdom, is there any truths that are unspoken that it's time for me to share? Are there any truths that are unspoken that it's time for me to share? And allowing yourself to hear the answer. And if you're not getting answers, just make it up. When you make it up, it's calling upon your subconscious mind to just show up. And finally, asking your inner wisdom, what do you know? What else do you want me to know? And allowing your inner wisdom to answer. Beautiful. And just taking another deep breath, knowing you'll remember everything that you need to, whether your eyes closed or driving or running or what have you. Stretching a little bit. And opening your eyes, refreshed and alert. Beautiful. So I invite you to take those questions to your journal and to make a note of what you received. Isn't it amazing what can happen when we just ask our inner wisdom to show up? I'm always blown away by that. She's right there just waiting for you to ask her. She's right there 24/7 broadcasting unconditional love and compassion to you. And as you get more in touch with your truth, I want to inspire you to speak it and to share it. And for you to test that out in those safer environments for yourself. And then to go to the places and spaces where it's going to take more courage and bravery. That's what this is all about, ladies. Connecting to our inner wisdom, connecting to our voice of truth, and then speaking it. That is what I believe will help you release the self-bullying, will help you release being so hard on yourself, and will help women to rise, shine, and lead. And that's what we're about here on the Amy Ahlers Show. You can receive the show notes from the Amy Ahlers Show for this particular show by going to amyahlershow.com/202, amyahlershow.com/202. That's where the show notes will be. And I'll have a link out there to the Inner Wisdom Experiment as well. And with that, I'm sending you so much love as you keep releasing the self-bullying and embracing your inner wisdom voice. It's Amy Ahlers, the Wake Up Call Coach, signing off. And we'll be back next week with a fantastic interview with my friend Andrea Owen, all about how to stop feeling like shit. It's true. We know sometimes on the Amy Ahlers Show, we got to have a little bit of a potty mouth because my daughters aren't in the room right now. So we're going to be talking about that. That's her new book, How to Stop Feeling Like Shit. You're going to love it. Andrea Owen is also has a great podcast called Your Kick-Ass Life. She's a riot. You're going to love it. And I can't wait to be back with you next week. Until then, keep embracing the magic and messiness of life and keep waking up to your inner wisdom. Bye-bye.